It was the middle of summer of 2008, and I was sitting on the porch swing with my daughter. I was exhausted. I was on day 3 of another 24/7 marathon of arguing, encouraging, and crying about her inconsolable and what I considered irrational fears. I finally went inside feeling utterly defeated. I was standing at the bottom of the stairs as she continued to sit desolate and miserable, curled up in the corner of the porch swing. I could still hear her agonizing sobs coming through the screen door as tears continued to roll down my face. My husband was trying to talk some sense into me because I wasn't seeing things too clearly. "It's 2 a.m. You need to get some sleep. I'll go talk with her now." And I looked at him, and all I could feel was utter despair in the pit of my stomach. "Fine, then you can help me pick her casket out tomorrow." And I stomped upstairs, shut off my cell phone, and crawled into bed. Those words, grumbled in anger, still haunt me today. I believe subconsciously I already knew that my daughter had lost her battle with bipolar disorder. Mental illness is one of the most misunderstood illnesses. It's a disease people don't dare talk about. The stigma is so strong. Not so long ago, if someone in the family were afflicted, they'd be institutionalized for the rest of their life. That didn't stop until the 1970s. We may not institutionalize people any longer, but the stigma is just as strong. So why is this important to you? According to the World Health Organization, 450 million people globally suffer from a mental illness. Treatments are available, however, only 1/3 of those actually diagnosed seek help. To put it simply, everyone's brain is made up of many chemicals. 1 in 4 has a challenge with those chemicals blending right in their brain. That's 1/4 of you watching. 1 in 4. So if you're pretty sure that the people closest to you are okay, that could mean the one suffering could be you. Seek help now if you haven't already. In all honesty, you can't tell if someone has a mental illness just by looking at them, or if they're taking medication unless they tell you. I was in total denial until my daughter, at the age of 12, wrote me her first suicide note in her own blood. She was finally diagnosed with bipolar disorder after many hospital stays. A nasty twist about mental illness is not everyone's chemical imbalance is the same, and each treatment is a different prescription cocktail. Add to the confusion multiple different types and multiple different degrees. A few of the most diagnosed mental illnesses are anxiety, depression, anorexia, autism, ADHD, PTSD. There's so many more than that. The majority of them are genetic, but absolutely none of them are contagious. This means that somebody you love, that's right, somebody you love will be diagnosed with a mental illness. It's part of everyone's life. It could be your neighbor, a friend, a coworker, or maybe your child. People just don't recognize how close it is to them. Why? Nobody talks about it. Even those that are seeking help don't always talk about it openly. My daughter's 10-year journey through bipolar disorder educated me on my lack of knowledge. When I was searching for help, there was nothing available. Helping her cope with her illness instilled in me a passion to raise awareness. There is a lot more information available. The internet is truly our friend. If everyone watching learned just one aspect of one mental illness, we could help the stigma fall away just by sharing what we learned. We could start a movement all about caring for each other. Together, we could change the world. I've been sharing my story for almost 8 years now, and I get many different reactions. People fidget in their seats, they stare at the ground to avoid eye contact, they feel sorry for me. I know I'm making a difference when people thank me for talking about this tough subject. I've encouraged many to seek help, to take their medication, and I've given courage to so many individuals to share their story. I'm going to continue talking about mental illness for them, for my daughter, for my grandchildren, and for you. I want you to do the same. It was the morning after I stomped upstairs, shut off my cell phone, and crawled into bed that I found my daughter Kat. She took her own life that night. Kat lost her fight. We did have to pick out her casket. We are all affected by mental illness. Please, for those still struggling, open your eyes and heart now. Not after you lose someone you know, or worse yet, someone you love. Help stop the stigma. Help me change the world.